Today on GameRant, an industry voice calls Game Pass unsustainable, Switch 2's power compared to the Xbox Series S, and Pirate Software's door may have been swatted. All this and more. Last month marked a full 8 years since Microsoft first launched their Xbox Game Pass service, allowing players access to a rotating library of games. But over time, Microsoft has released their own Xbox Game Studios titles day and date, a move that has become a major selling point, but not without controversy. This past weekend, developer Raphael Colantonio took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to criticize Microsoft's current direction, claiming it harms the industry overall, but specifically his statements were made following the recent Microsoft layoffs. Quote, "Why is no one talking about the elephant in the room? Cough, cough, Game Pass. I think Game Pass is an unsustainable model that's been increasingly damaging the industry for a decade, subsidized by Microsoft's infinite money, but at some point reality has to hit. I don't think Game Pass can coexist with other models. They'll either kill everyone else or give up. Game Pass is only profitable if you ignore the $100 billion that Microsoft spent acquiring content for Game Pass such as ZeniMax and Activision. It's a spreadsheet trick where they don't put that detail in a profit and loss section, but instead into the amortization over time." Mr. Colantonio is currently the president and creative director at Wolfeye Studios, a developer he also co-founded, best known for Weird West. That game was notably available on Game Pass in March of 2022. Previously, Mr. Colantonio founded Arkane Studios, creators of the first-person stealth adventure series Dishonored, among other games. Do you think Game Pass is harmful to the industry? Chat back in the comments below. It's been just over a month since Nintendo released their newest console, the Switch 2. Now out in the wild, developers have had a closer look at the upgraded hybrid console, with one favorably comparing the Switch 2 with a current Xbox home console. Speaking with WCCF Tech, Owen O'Grady, the technical director for Black Shamrock, a studio which specializes in porting games to different platforms, stated, quote, "GPU-wise, the Switch 2 performs slightly below the Series S. This difference is more noticeable in handheld mode. However, the Series S does not support technologies like DLSS, which the Switch 2 does. This makes the GPU capabilities of the two consoles comparable overall. Any game shipping at 60 frames per second on the Series S should easily port to the Switch 2. Likewise, a 30 frames per second Series S game that's GPU bound should also port well. Games with complex physics, animations, or other CPU-intensive elements might incur additional challenges in reaching 30 or 60 frames per second, or requiring extra optimization during porting." End quote. The Xbox Series S launched day and date with the more powerful Xbox Series X on November 10, 2020. While not all features may be available, Microsoft's weaker platform has matched every game released this generation so far. In fact, Black Shamrock helped port 2022's Marvel's Midnight Sun to the Xbox Series S and X, as well as the Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition, the remaster of the Outer Worlds for current-gen consoles and PC. What games are on the Xbox Series S that you want to see on the Switch 2? Chat back in the comments below. It appears the latest project and developer by John Romero are no more. Last week, Brenda Romero of Romero Games took to the company's X, formerly known as Twitter, stating their newest game had lost its funding. Quote, "We're currently evaluating next steps and working closely to support our team. Many of us have worked together for more than a decade, some for over 20 years. It's an extremely difficult day and we're heartbroken that it's come to this." End quote. But according to Irish news outlet The Journal, multiple sources are reporting the Galway-based developer's backer was Microsoft, and as part of the recent waves of layoffs and budgetary changes, Romero Games is set to close. The unnamed former employees have described their feelings as a range of frustration, disappointment, and surprise, with developers stating their pride in their work while others recall meetings only a handful of days ago. Neither John or Brendan Romero have confirmed the closure at this time. Romero Games was founded in 2014 by Brenda and John Romero, developing only 2 games over the past decade, including 2017's Gunman Taco Truck and 2020's Empire of Sin. Allegedly, Microsoft was the financial supporter of an unannounced game until its recent cancellation. John Romero is best known as the co-founder of id Software, helping to shape the formative first-person shooter games Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, and Quake before his departure from the company in 1996. Since then, he's founded multiple studios including Ion Storm, Monkey Stone Games, and more. And finally, in a serious twist surrounding the recent feud between Stop Killing Games' Ross Scott and Twitch streamer Jason Thor Hall, aka Pirate Software, Mr. Hall has stated he was recently swatted. Previously, the developer had come under criticism for his remarks on Ross Scott's Stop Killing Games movement, which is attempting to require developers share the tools needed to maintain a game's playability if and when the game goes offline. As reported first by Dexertro, Mr. Hall shared he's been receiving thousands of death threats since calling Stop Killing Games unrealistic, including being addressed by Ross Scott on his Accursed Farms YouTube channel. According to Mr. Hall, this escalated into a swatting taking place on July 1st, although details at this point have not been independently verified. Mr. Hall addressed the matter, stating, quote, "I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that your initiative gets everything that you asked for but nothing you wanted, and I'll leave it there," end quote. Have you been keeping up with the Pirate Software drama? Chat back in the comments below. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, but we'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, how about checking out my newest episode of GameRant all about the Initiative's Perfect Dark reboot and how I think it was never going to release no matter how much time they received. It's a pretty crazy story. Check it out in the description below. Keep clicking around here at GameRant, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.